absolute minimum FCC broadcasting standards. It's time to hang on and brace yourself for a community radio program that's frankly indescribable. Let's talk Geneseo. Two guys with nothing better to do on a Friday morning but to talk about our community. Geneseo City Administrator Brandon Meglin and City Alderman Keith Kennett. And yeah, nobody, and I mean nobody, puts the blah in blah, blah, blah like these guys do.
And good Friday. You are listening to WGRG. Let's talk Geneseo, as Mr. Announcer just announced. I'm Keith Kennett, along with Brandon Meglin. Good morning, Brandon.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Just great. It's a beautiful sunny morning. Lots of rain. The grass is growing. People don't have to run their yard sprinklers every day. We like that. Water conservation.
Water conservation. We're in a good water situation. Yeah.
Yes.
It's all
Don't
good.
jinx it, Keith.
And today is, well, mark your calendars. The drought started on the morning when the guys talked about all the rain we were having. But anyway.
Yeah.
But a full show a little bit here today. We have a familiar guest and a new guest and stuff. So we'll turn it over to you, Brandon, to maybe jump right into it.
Yep. We have two guests in the studio today. Mark Gravicheski, Quad Cities Investment Group.
It says it all, Mark.
Good to be here again, guys.
The only reoccurring guest with his own theme song, Lindsay.
Correct. The only one that will put that effort into.
It's 2112 Overture by Rush.
It says it all. It speaks for itself, Mark.
Yeah, it does, really. And then when our audience hears that song, they know I'm up and coming.
I think I need one now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Be thinking about it.
We'll work on it. Yes.
Yes. You're also hearing the voice of Lindsay Akers, the new Executive Director for the Geneseo Chamber of Commerce. Welcome, Lindsay.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. As always, when we have Mr. Gravicheski here, we will take a look at our economic condition in the world in and around Geneseo.
Let's light this candle, guys.
Yes, yes. So recently, Mark, we're seeing chaos in the Middle East and Iran specifically, but the market continues to break new records. We see little peaks and valleys here and there, but you know, what's driving the continued surges?
Well, anytime you get these all-time record highs, anytime there's an up day in the stock market, it's a good day and a good reason to celebrate. But remember, if you go back to February 28th, the U.S. and Iran the U.S. and Israel jointly attacked Iran, and that immediately set crude oil prices soaring through the roof, and that triggered this month-long pullback in the U.S. stock market from February 28th, kind of through the end of March. But since early April, to your point, we're just seeing this massive surge in the U.S. stock market. It seems like almost every day the S&P 500, the NASDAQ, is setting one all-time record high after the other. And one of the main reasons, despite all, we're still having very high crude oil and energy prices. One of the main reasons for this surge in the U.S. stock market is that corporate earnings remain exceptionally strong. Right now we're kind of in the middle of the corporate earnings season, where companies are releasing their earnings and revenue numbers for the January through March first quarter, and so far at least, corporate earnings are about 27% higher than they were 12 months ago. You look at it a little bit closer, that's almost double the average growth rate for corporate earnings we've seen over the past 5 years. So yeah, that's one of the main contributors for this ongoing surge in the stock market.
What sectors are we talking about? You've spoken a lot in the past about the growth of AI and the companies that are taking that and running with it. Is that still a trend, or?
Well, one of the very interesting dynamics we're seeing in the economy is that, when this push towards AI first started a couple of years ago, the initial thought that some of the primary beneficiaries of this push, this movement towards artificial intelligence would be two main groups. One, obviously, the big tech companies that are creating and manufacturing this AI technology, and think of companies like NVIDIA, AMD, or Advanced Micro Design. And the second group obviously would be, those big tech companies again that are using that AI technology to create new products and new services. Some of those companies you think of Amazon, of Google, of Microsoft, Apple, and certainly Tesla. But what we're seeing is that this push towards AI requires a massive expansion of our infrastructure within the country, which also requires a massive amount of materials, raw materials, of energy, of electricity, the building of new data centers, the building of new factories and facilities. And so what we're seeing is this, the economic growth is really expanding, is spreading out across the broader U.S. economy outside of the tech sector. And one of the greatest examples recently is Caterpillar. And you're probably asking yourself, rightfully so, how does Caterpillar tie into this massive expansion of artificial intelligence within the United States? And it goes back to, we need to expand the infrastructure within the United States to support all these data centers and factories and facilities. And all of that massive expansion of the infrastructure requires heavy machinery and equipment. Well, who produces heavy machinery and equipment? Caterpillar. Caterpillar also produces generators that powers a lot of the electricity and power for these data centers and factories. And so, Caterpillar is just one example of this expansion of economic prosperity across various sectors of the U.S. economy outside of technology. And when Caterpillar reported their latest quarterly earnings, I think it was last Thursday or Friday, their revenue and profit numbers just blew away Wall Street's forecast, and we just saw a quick 10% jump in Caterpillar stock. And another example is Corning. We used to think of it as Dow Corning, but Corning, they're known for making the glass for our smartphones. Well, they also make fiber optics. And when you think of these big data centers, you're thinking of fiber optics. And Corning is another example of a company that just reported its latest quarterly earnings and revenues blew away Wall Street expectations. And we're seeing that stock going through the roof. That's kind of what we're seeing is this very interesting dynamic within the U.S. economy that this wealth from this expansion of artificial intelligence within our economy is starting to spread out across many sectors of the economy.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I think the big question, when are we going to see gas start with a 3 in the numerical order on the price boards, Mark?
Well, obviously, everything ties back to the price of crude oil. As I've said many, many times, the crude oil industry does not exist in some type of singular bubble. From a barrel of crude oil, we get gasoline, we get diesel fuel, we get heating oil, we get kerosene, jet fuel. And again, 25% of the world's crude oil flows through that narrow strip of waterway we call the Strait of Hormuz, which lies on Iran's southern border. And that's still a fairly contentious area between, President Trump and the United States and Iran. Until that kind of opens up, I'd expect to see, in my opinion, crude oil prices to remain elevated, which means that, going into the summer driving season, I think gasoline prices are going to remain elevated. But once, hopefully, that situation within the Strait of Hormuz starts to resolve itself in the upcoming weeks and months, and once that Strait of Hormuz opens up and that critical flow of crude oil through the Strait of Hormuz it starts going again. Again, in my opinion, I think we should start to see crude oil prices start to decline from, $100 a barrel where it's currently at, hopefully back down to around the high 70s, low 80s.
Okay.
Yeah.
Lindsay, you're not concerned about gas prices, right? You're driving an EV these days.
Are you really?
I do. We do have a Tesla, but your boat's going to have expensive gas this summer.
Yeah, well,
Happy fishing.
maybe we can put a battery on it and just run the trolling motor. I don't know. All right, so let's turn over to Lindsay with the Chamber of Commerce. I guess, first of all, welcome to Geneseo Chamber officially, and
Thank you.
look forward to partnering with you at the city and many other organizations across town. So
Yes.
why don't we start by putting you on the spot a little bit, like we like to do with folks here when they're new to the show, and maybe just a little bit of background on yourself. Where'd you come from? How'd you get to the position in your career that you landed at the Chamber?
Yeah, sure. So I grew up in Florida. That's where all my family is still from.
What part of Florida?
Central, like the suburbs of Orlando.
Okay.
So we're
Love
very close
Orlando.
to Disney.
I think of Disney World. I'm a
Yeah.
huge Disney fan.
I actually went to the University of Central Florida in Orlando for my undergrad, and I had a major in event management, and so I went to the Rosen College of Hospitality, which is right by Disney. And I always joke, this is not a joke, on one of my finals, one of the questions was, what color were Mickey Mouse's shoes at his 50th birthday party?
Okay.
And I was like, I don't know if this counts as real school, but I loved that. I had, like I said, got my degree in event management, and then I went straight to FAU, which is Florida Atlantic University down south in Boca, and got my MBA there. So after college, I did a little vacation in Europe, and that's where I met my now husband, Colin, who my mom makes fun of me. I'm the only person that would go to Europe and come back with a boyfriend from Illinois. So
There you go. It worked out great.
yes. And so we lived in Florida for a little while after we got married, but then we had kids. We have a 1-year-old and a 3-year-old, and Geneseo started to sound more and more appealing. So we came back home for him. So we've been here about 2 years now. And, we really came back just for, like, the family and the support and the community and everything. And so it's been worth it.
Oh, glad to have you in Geneseo here, and certainly glad to have you at the Chamber of Commerce.
Yes, thank you.
So tell us about your first week.
It's been busy. It's just been, I think I've just jumped right into it. We've had several, committee meetings for all the events coming up. We're going into, like, a busy event season. And so that's kind of my number one priority getting started, is just getting up to speed on those and making sure there's no gaps in the events. But it's been really nice. I mean, everybody, there's just so many good people, like, on the chamber, on the board, and the chamber members, and they've honestly got a really good grasp on these events. And so it's cool to just kind of be able to step in and catch up and pick up where they're leaving off.
Well, the next upcoming chamber event, correct me if I'm wrong, Brandon, is the wine.
Wine Walk.
Yeah.
New one, right?
Yes.
You guys were just on KWQC the other day, Quadcities Live,
day
talking
number
about
2, they put me on TV.
Like
And now
heat to
day
the
number
fire.
5, here I am. But no, the wine walk is shaping up to be really good. It's really awesome to see all the businesses coming together. I've been in several meetings this week where people are talking about how you can really feel all the businesses in the community coming together. And particularly at Wine Walk, I mean, you've got all of these restaurants that are popping up in the retail locations, and so the restaurants are serving their wine in the retail locations, and shutting down State Street. And so I just think it'll be a really fun event.
Yeah, day number 2. Let's put a little bit bigger deal than being in here with us.
Yeah, a little bit.
On the
I mean, this is
Quad Cities
big,
largest
but
station.
not like that. Yeah.
Amy from Catch is an old pro, so she walked me through it.
Yes, Amy is very organized. Yeah, very excited to have you here. What is the most exciting part, I guess, about transitioning from what you were doing before to taking on this role? And you were working from home before, right?
Yes, so I've been in marketing and events. I started my career back in doing kind of events similar to this. It was for a private venue though, so we did like weddings. We actually did car shows. It was in Florida, so we did a lot of partnerships with like Harley Davidson and did some Harley Davidson events. And then after that, thanks to COVID, I got a lot into marketing then because a lot of events weren't happening at that point. So I kind of took a pivot and did a lot of marketing for a few years, and then I was working for a financial services company doing marketing for them from home. So I've been working from home for 6 years now. So that's definitely the most exciting part for me now. I was kind of getting tired of my office in my basement, and so
Now you actually get human communication.
exactly. So now here I am meeting with real people and not just over Zoom. So that's definitely the most exciting part for me is getting out in the community and getting to collaborate with everybody.
Yeah. I don't know if I could do 6 years in a home office, Keith.
That's a long time. Yeah.
It starts off, you think it's good. I mean, it starts off really good, right? You're like, oh, I get to I can do my chores. I can work from home. Maybe I can take a nap in the middle of the day. But then after maybe 3 or 4 years or so, I'm like, okay, I'm getting kind of over this. I think that's kind of a trend in people that started working from home during COVID.
A lot of talking to yourself. A lot of, yeah. It's nice to be out and about and interacting.
Definitely.
It is a much more casual work environment, though. You got to admit that.
Yeah, true. Works for some people.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like I got to get up, start moving,
Yeah, I definitely had to go on a big shopping spree before I started coming to the office because I was wearing my sweatpants at home for 6 years. So,
Yeah. So Wine Walk coming up with the chamber, like you mentioned, lots of great committees, and I think that's what's been a great thing to see is a lot of new people coming out, or people who have been disengaged for a long time that are re-engaging with the chamber and these committees and with their businesses, supporting what's going on and what's coming up. Really, really neat to see people come together like that. But so Wine Walk at the end of this month, and then I guess take us through some of the other things that you guys have been meeting on and planning for, and I know Mark's involved in a couple of those things too.
Yep. Trains, Lindsay was at the Trains, Planes, and Automobiles committee meeting on Tuesday, and that's kind of a multifaceted one. We have obviously that Thursday the air show out at Jen Air Park, and then that the next day on Friday. We still plan on doing the Cruise the Canal tours. We're going to have a couple of those. And then obviously the big event is that Saturday with the car show, and the model railroaders are once again going to be involved and have a lot of their model train displays. A lot of moving pieces to that festival. So. It was good to see Lindsay there and just kind of start to get involved, and Chamber's there to support her.
Mm-hmm. I guess after Wine Walk, it will be Music Fest.
yes,
right?
Music Fest is full steam ahead. That'll be coming up next. And then I think after that is the Chamber Golf outing. And then planning is fully underway for State Street Market, even though that sounds far away. That's such a big one. That one's underway too. Kind of lots of moving parts. It'll be a busy summer.
Probably talking Christmas already pretty soon too, right?
Yeah.
Christmas. Wow.
Yeah. It'll be here before we know it.
Yeah.
Yeah, then the Chamber dinner, and then you got Christmas walk. So your schedule's going to be full the first year.
Yes.
We're a busy community. So, Lindsay, I know it's just been a short time, but any unexpected good surprises and stuff with the job, or I guess I'll just leave it with that. You're coming into a situation here where you're well established, but we're an active community with a lot going on, and we've talked about the support and stuff that you have, but but little extra pluses that you've found so far.
Definitely. What's been not surprising but refreshing is just how many people have come to introduce themselves to me and just been like, this is why I'm familiar with the Chamber, and I'm here if you need anything. Like, I'm here to support you. I can't even count how many people have done that. I think everybody's really excited to kind of see everybody coming together, and it's just been awesome to see how many people are willing to support.
Well, and I think we can all attest to that, though. For a town our size, I think we kind of slug above our weight, a little bit with activities and stuff. But a lot of it is that there's a community spirit and a dynamic willingness to get involved. I think here in Geneseo that you'll come to experience and understand even more as you move forward in the position.
Definitely.
Yep, and we need it. These events do not happen because of Lindsay or one person or the city. It really is the volunteers and the businesses that make it happen, and we'll be asking for many more volunteers for some of these events. They continue to grow. Art Walk was larger than ever. This Wine Walk event sounds like it's going to be quite large. And we're going to have quite the busy downtown, so we need people to come and help out for sure.
Yes. And if you're still thinking about going to Wine Walk, ticket sales close this Sunday, so make sure you get your tickets before they close.
Yeah.
Oh, she's good. Yes.
Insert ad here. All right. Well, guys, appreciate you both being here today.
Good to be
Anything
back.
else we want to get in? Did we leave anything off the table today?
I don't know.
Sometimes I just like to check, double check. We didn't
Not that I
skip
can
over
think of.
something.
Well,
Well, one thing, since we're kind of talking about all these festivals, obviously we've mentioned this before, and I'd like to say it again. For any of you listeners out there, you have a favorite festival, Music Fest, Christmas Walk, Trains, Planes, and Automobiles. If you want to become more involved, as Brandon was saying earlier on, we're always looking for volunteers and people to kind of help out. So if you do want to help out and volunteer your time, we'd love to talk to you. Reach out to Lindsay at the Chamber.
That's right.
Absolutely. Well, thank you guys for being here today.
Yeah, very much so. Lindsay, very nice meeting you and
Yes,
stuff. And
thank you guys so much for
welcome
having
to town.
me.
You can just start penciling on your calendar now that we'll probably ask you to be here about 4 or 5 more times before the end of this year.
I gotta perfect my radio voice.
Yeah,
There you go.
yeah. Keith, what else is coming up? We have tomorrow is the final spring yard waste disposal drop-off day at the Prairie Park for those
It
who
is.
may still be doing some yard maintenance. That's an important one. If you do have anything you want to bring out, we will not be opening that back up until the fall. For leaf disposal, of course, you still have curbside options to dispose of any yard waste products, but keep that in mind tomorrow, 8 to noon.
Yeah.
Prairie Park site, and then
one thing
Yeah.
I noticed, Brandon, is that as I was going down Ogden Avenue earlier this week, I didn't have to drive through a bunch of barricades.
oh, that's
That
true.
the road actually was open.
Yeah.
So it's nice to have Ogden and State Street, that intersection, navigable again. Some nice new concrete. All is well underneath, utility-wise, underneath the concrete.
Yes, North State Street project continues on the north end of State Street, but the critical intersection here that leads into the high school is back open after some unexpected underground work that required a lot of tear out, and concrete's back in, it's all cured up, and back to going down Ogden.
Yes, and we probably should thank again the school district and stuff too. Everybody kind of had on short notice, come up with a alternate route for traffic and access and all that, and it really worked out pretty well, I think.
Yeah.
All things considered, and appreciate everyone's patience on that. Took a bit longer than we were hoping, but all in all, not too disruptive.
Yeah, like you said, very much appreciate everybody. The day that it came up, about 4 or 5 people from the district came over, and we met and developed a logistics plan for traffic and buses, and pretty big burden on the district and the students and everybody. So appreciate everybody's patience while we went through that.
Yep.
Yeah, city council meeting coming up Tuesday. Check out the agenda. Be published by this evening, it should be,
All right.
for the upcoming meeting Tuesday, if you follow along with city council business.
And if you can't make it, can always watch it live on YouTube.
Yeah,
If you would like.
live. Yeah.
I think we have a handful that will typically watch it live. I think we usually have 2 in the audience, sometimes more, but we usually have 2 faithful attendees.
Yes.
So shout out to Pastor Steve and Ann
Yeah.
for for usually being there. So, but anyway, yeah,
Top fans.
Yeah,
Yep.
but city council coming next Tuesday. And
Yeah, I think that's. I don't know what else at this point. We'll head into spring here, and more projects going on. A lot of construction projects. We folks see the North Water Tower. You see activity happening there. What is going on when you look up at the tower right now is attachments being made for containment of blasting the old paint off that tower as we prepare for total refurbishment of the exterior and new paint job on the tower. But you're seeing some structural support going up right now for containment, so things don't go all over town as they begin to blast.
you
the
want to
paint
keep
off, right?
things contained right
Yeah.
underneath there. It gets all disposed of very nicely. And I probably for our listeners, probably some sad news though. But there's been some talk about maybe a little bit of a different design with the water tower and stuff with the new paint job. We did have. Some of you may remember Brandon when he was in Chicago last year. We had that nice caricature of Brandon and I that was created, and there was some talk of putting that up on the water tower. Sadly, that did not come to pass.
Yeah.
So that
I'm sure it was a very close vote.
it was a very close. I actually don't even think that idea made it past me. It
No.
was so poorly received. But so anyway, but we look forward to having it all finished up and. Being a nice landmark for the community.
Yep, been a long time coming, so that'll be nice to get that project done and off the books too.
What is the new design going to be?
So,
Or is it a surprise?
We'll leave it as a surprise
All right,
and
fair
stuff. Yeah.
enough.
I mean, it's not going to be earth-shattering, but it'll be a nice.
Yeah.
It'll look.
All right.
It'll be very nice.
clean.
We'll have to wait.
Nice, clean repaint.
Yeah.
The biggest change you'll see is you'll see the city's logo and.
All right.
The logo that the community uses up there on the tower, and about a 13-foot tall version of it. So that'll be nice. But really, this is a new clean paint job, and really more about the overall maintenance. And you can't really tell if you're just somebody like myself who says, well, it's there. It looks okay from where I'm at, but there really are, as time goes on, there's a lot of little components that need to be actually fixed on the surface. And so it's a much bigger job than just rolling on a new coat of paint. And Keith knows that better than a lot.
Well, and when the water tower gets painted, it's a landmark. Everybody sees it and stuff. So anyway, so that's cool. And but maybe we could work on a new entry sign for Geneseo and work in our caricature.
Yeah, probably not going to happen.
Probably not. Okay.
Maybe
All right.
Lindsay.
Maybe.
think
Yeah,
people
Lindsay.
would
Actually, that
rather
would be
see
fine.
Lindsay's
thank you.
face on a sign than ours, Keith.
Yeah. I think ours would be vandalized very quickly, but maybe not.
Yeah.
All right. Well, with that, Brandon, anything else? I think that pretty much covers it from a city standpoint.
Yeah.
And but as always, if there's any, and I don't know if we ever have in the couple of years we've been doing this, or what have you, because we're now on show 80 something, I think. But but if you have a topic you would like us to discuss, or questions or what have you, it's always best to get a hold of Brandon. You can call him at City Hall. You can send Brandon an email at what's that email address again, Brandon?
Yeah,
Not that anybody does email anymore, but
Yeah, what's email, Keith?
that's what us old people with gray hair use.
Yeah, it's bmeglin at cityofgeneseo.com, or as we found most of the time, if somebody really is passionate about something, whether a discussion for this program or just passionate about something in the community or that the city has control over, just stop in and see us at City Hall, or give us a call up there, and we'll talk at you anytime.
Or even if you're passionate about something and we have no control over it whatsoever, feel free to contact us too.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Well, with that, we're going to wrap it up. Lindsay, again, thank you so much for coming in. Mark, always good seeing you. Brandon.
Good to see both of you again.
We won't see you next week, but we'll see you the week after that.
Yeah, maybe a few more shows, and then usually we wrap the season around the time that school ends. But we were talking about before, there's a couple other folks that want to come on and promote some things coming up in town. So depending on how long Keith lets us come back to the studio into early summer, we may have a few more.
You know what we missed? I think what was the show we weren't on? Was it last week or week before? They blur together.
Couple weeks, yeah.
But they had the water jumping in thing for the high school that last
Yeah.
year we had talked about. We should participate in that, but
Oh, what a shame.
yeah, we managed to miss that again. So, yeah.
Maybe next year.
Maybe. Okay. Well, thank you so much for listening. And this has been WGRG 100.5 in Geneseo. And have a great weekend.
Where the music never stops. Unless there's a technical problem or power outage. You're listening to WGRG 100.5 FM in Geneseo, a broadcast service of Geneseo High School and the Geneseo Community Radio Group.